Whilst I remember, I'll just tell you a cute Providence story. So this morning, I didn't go out at dawn because you know what he's like, and all this business. And I'm like, I'm not standing in the freezing cold for you, idiot. So I left it until about 8:15. And it was nice and bright, and he was out. But he hadn't gone far because now his expectancy is that I'm going to be there with his food. So he's hanging about in the adjacent tree, and as soon as I come down and I'm feeding the other squirrels with hazelnuts, walnuts, almonds all in their shells, and monkey nuts in their shells, the jackdaws like those, as well as crows and magpies, they'll eat those, but mostly it's the jackdaws that run away with them. And what Providence likes now, he likes the bird feed, because he likes to nibble on the little seeds, but mostly he likes the sunflowers. So he has to sit in my hand, or he has a preference to sit in my hand, because if I put this bird seed down on like the top of a wheelie bin, he don't want to go on it. He'll pick one out like that, and then he'll come and jump back on my hand. So he sits in my cradle hand full of these seeds, and he's enjoying himself whilst giving it all this. When there's a crow or a raven or a magpie or something like that, it's like he's on a DMT trip every day, because he's like, what's that? Strange noises, and then a lawnmower strikes up, and he bolts to the fence, and then he calms down and he comes back, and all this stuff is kind of like red alert, but it's not a stressed red alert, it's just an alertness. And of course, they can't generate stress from it because they'd always be in stress, because they always have to be constantly vigilant. So whilst he was sitting in my palm and he was eating these sunflower seeds and other bits of small chips of corn and things like that, he came upon an almond which at this moment in time he favours greatly. But because he's kind of like got a fad now on these sunflower seeds when he can get them, what he did was he picked up this almond and he's like, fuck, what am I going to do with this now? It's too far to go to try and bury it somewhere. He's got to deal with the job in hand, and the job in hand was getting his belly full on this freezing cold morning with these sunflower seeds. And so what he did was he left my hand, he went round the back of my neck, and I could feel him took him this almond between my shirt collar and my neck, and then he put it down there with his nose, and then I could feel his little paws patting it down to make sure it's nice and secure. Oh my god. And so he'd had his feed, he'd had his fill, and this went on for about 20 minutes, and I was freezing this time. And so I thought, well, you've had enough now. I'm going to put the rest down for you here on the top of the wheelie bin. You know where they are. So he jumps on the fence, and I stood away about 10 feet. And I just like to watch him for a minute or two to see if he's going to go in his home or if he's going to go up in the trees. But he sat on the fence just looking at me. I'm like, what do you want? Well, what is it with you? Do you want to play? Because sometimes when he's been fed, he wants to play. And so I went nearer, and when I was 5 feet away, he jumped on me. And when they jump, it's such a beautiful thing, because they jump up in the air to land down on you, because that is the most gentlest possible way that they can jump, because if they jumped and thrust themselves directly, the impact is going to be greater. So they literally jump up in the air like a rainbow curve, and then they'll land back down on you. And he's so gentle. So he landed back down on me. Then he went round the back, and I'm like, oh, what do you want, hoodie bab-eyes or what? And then he's down in my neck like this, and then he came out on my shoulder with his, no, it's not hazelnut, with his almond in his mouth. And then he jumped back on his fence and then ran up to his favourite branch to eat it. And so I'm like, wow, you know. And this is why sometimes I get annoyed if nobody finds these little stories really endearing or beautiful. To experience this level of connection with something that people wouldn't expect that. I mean, you wouldn't get that from a cat. What would you ever get from a dog? Maybe if you gave a dog a bone, then he'd go and bury it. But it isn't anything like on the level of cuteness that squirrels are on. They are on like maximum cute. Oh fuck! Damn! Those. Come on. Those were the honey fungi, and they're kind of brittle and delicate. But anyway, Providence cuteness to the max, that was. Feeling his little nose, took it down nice and secure, and then pat it with his cold little claws. When he jumps on me in the morning, I can feel his cold nose around my neck and his cold hands and feet on my hands, and then, you know, he sometimes had to play in my hair and he put his hands and on my ears. I'm like, ah, your hands are cold. And it's just so cute, it's just so beautiful and sweet. Anyway, so I tell you what you can do. You can use this video as a litmus test. A litmus test to see if you are dead or alive. Which one are you? Come on. If that one don't touch you, I don't know what would. I really don't know what would.